Hey everyone, this is V, Buzzing with V. Welcome back to another video. So today I'm gonna make a library card using some scrap Diva dies, and this is what we're making today here. It's so fun and whimsical. I just love the colors as well. I wanted to go with a water background along with the flamingo and some greenery and flowers, and I just thought that this was such a cute idea to use with the flamingo. So let's go ahead and look at the die that I will be using. It's called Flamingo Shaker, and it comes with several pieces here. So you do get two flamingos, so one facing in the opposite direction, along with all of the shaker elements that's needed to create a shaker. This set comes with all of these pieces you see, and let's go ahead and get on into what we will need to create this. So the first things first is we will need those flowers that I made in the last video. So I will have that linked below in case you missed it. And let's get into the rest of it. This is what I'm using here. You will need some scissors. What's not shown here is a paper trimmer. You will need some tweezers. I'm using this Tim Holtz flower roller. However, you don't need this if you want to make what I'm making here. A stick or a toothpick would be sufficient. You will need some glitter for your shaker. This is for Michael's. And you will need a corner punch. I'm using this one here. It's for photos. You will also need some liquid glue, and I did use some hot glue. So sometimes that's just needed, and that's personal preference. I really did use a little bit of hot glue. I'm kind of weaning myself off of hot glue, but I still can't let go of it. So let's move on to all of the pieces that you will need to create this as well. I will be using these as well. These are the Tropical Leaves by scrapdivadesigns.com. I did use this in my last video as well. I will have that linked below again. And so I didn't use all of these, but you are able to pick and choose which leaves you would like to use. Next are all of the pieces that you need to die cut. So as far as the base, you will need one base. You will need a foam border die cut. You will also need a paper border die cut. Also, you'll need to die cut 3 wings. In my case, I did die cut 3 different shades of pink. You are able to use that or just do what you'd like. Another thing is acetate. I die cut 1 acetate. Later, you'll see me cut off the neck and head there. It's not needed. However, you don't have to do that. It's just personal preference. And you'll see me do that later. I picked this foam up from Hobby Lobby. The cardstock is for Michael's. You will also need a sliver of cardstock. This is 1/16 of an inch by 6 inches. What I use this for are the little squiggly swirls that I use here. So right here, this is what I use them for. So very fun and whimsical. A flower arrangement that I did here. And as you can see, all of the little squigglies going on. I just love how it turned out as well. Next, you will need to die cut all of the pieces as far as the eyes, the beak, the cheeks. And I did do one extra step here, and I want to show you it. So I did cut out a beak, and that is a part of the head and the beak, and I do fussy cut the beak out, and I needed to do that to create the orange color. So you will need that as well. So as you can see here, here is the orange and then the black right on top. So that die doesn't come with the die set. However, it's very easy to create. Just die cut that piece out and you're all set to go. Okay, so next you will need some legs, and I do double up on the legs. I'm using a cut apart piece from the collection. I am using Fun in the Sun by Pebbles and American Crafts. I will have that linked below in case you don't have it. And you also gonna need to make some squigglies, and we'll do that. I'll show you that in the video. Next are the pieces to create the library card. You will need to cut a piece of cardstock at 3.5 inches by 5 inches. You will also need to punch the top corners with your photo punch if you have one. And you will also need for the pocket a piece of cardstock at 4.5 inches by 3 inches, and you will need to score at 1/2 inch on 3 sides, so the left, the right, and the bottom. So I will do that later. As far as the lining, you will need a piece for that. So as far as the back, it's 2 3/4 of an inch by 4 1/4 of an inch. The pocket will need a 3 1/4 by 2 1/4 piece of cardstock. So this will go right on top of that. This will go right on top of that. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, step 1, I'm going to go ahead and grab my quarter punch, and I'm going to punch the top corners of the liner for the base. And that is the back of the library card, and I will also need to do that to the base. Okay, that is done. Now next, score the pocket, and let's go ahead and do that. So I'm just scoring on the sides and the bottom, super easy. And I'm going to use a 1/2 inch. So a 1/2 inch on one side, a 1/2 inch on the bottom, a 1/2 inch on the other side. There we are. All done. Okay, so grab your scissors. Grab a bigger size scissors, and I'm gonna cut the corners here. So super easy, just cut them corners out. Fairly simple, like so. So now let's go ahead and fold. Okay, so there is our pocket, and that's going to go right on top there. I will have to erase my measurements. So next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some stitching on this, as I did here. I am using metallic silver thread, which I picked up from Michael's, and I thought that the silver would go well with this, but this collection does have elements of silver, foil silver, and so I thought that would go really nice. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to do that off camera. I went ahead and finished off the stitching with my sewing machine. It's all set here and ready to go. So let's go ahead and glue this. So what I'm going to do is turn over the pocket and fold over the sides, and then add some glue just to the corner here, and I'm going to close it up. So I'm going to set this side to dry, and I'm going to go ahead and start on this one here. So do the same, glue the back as well here. Just add some glue here and add it to the base. So here's the base. Usually I use hot glue for this, but in this case, I don't know, the liquid glue is growing on me. Okay, so just press that glue in with some tool that you have. I'm using the scraper here. So that's gonna work. Let's go ahead and do this too. And so now let's go ahead, and I'm gonna glue this portion on top of the pocket. Very simple to do. Again, you can use different cardstock if you'd like, different colored cardstock, as well as the pattern paper. You don't have to go with all of the blue like I did. You can paper piece different colors and quilt it as well. It would look nice. So there's that. Okay, so now I need to add my tag. I love to add tags. I'm gonna cut this portion here, and then I'm going to round the corners with my corner punch. So that's all I do. Grab my corner punch here. Okay, oopsie. So I will just cut that off. There we go. All set. Move all these papers out of the way. Here, add my glue. I'm gonna add it here. Okay. There we go. That's good enough. Press down. Okay, all set. Now let's add the pocket. So this is where the pocket goes, right on top of there, and you can see that the Fun in the Sun wording here is not covered. So just go ahead and add some glue to the back folds here and glue it on. I'm gonna go ahead and set this up here. Let's go ahead and put this flamingo together. So what I will need to do first is add some glue to this foam piece here. Like so. That is all set. Let's add our glitter from Michaels. So I'm not adding too much, just enough to cover the flamingo body, and that's it. So now for this piece here, the acetate. So I'm going to go ahead and cut off the neck. You don't have to do this, but I'm going to go ahead and add some glue. Let me go ahead and add the acetate. Press that down softly. Okay, as you can see, it's going to seep right there. We don't want that, so let's go ahead and add the liner. And you want glue on every piece, every bit of this liner here. This is the border. Okay, there we are. Let's add it on. There we go. Just press gently. Okay, as far as the leaf. So what I do with this, the top leaf, you do want to round it. So I'm just going to round it with anything that I have here. So I have this tool here, and I'm just going to round it just a little bit and do the same to the others. So if you do go with different shades of color, I would recommend you pick up the value pack from Michaels. They have all different shades. And let's go ahead and glue this on now. So grab the glue, add just a little glue. And you want to go with the darker color on the bottom. So lighter color on the top. Add a little glue there. So fun. This part I do add some foam. I'm using this colored foam from Hobby Lobby here. So all I'm gonna do is put it right there, and we're gonna glue this down there. So let's go ahead and do that. So this is where my hot glue comes in. The liquid glue takes too long to dry with the adhesive. There we are. Okay, now the feet. Let's go ahead and double up on the feet, and I think I want it like this and like this. So I need double up on them. There we are. Let's add a little bit of hot glue there. There we go. All set. Now I'm going to add some liquid glue right under here. Keep this leg in place. Our flamingo is looking good so far. It got a bit noisy in my home. Here I am adding all of the elements for the face, the eyes, the cheeks, the beak, and I'm fussy cutting that piece for the beak. I'm using orange. This is I believe a Recollections color and also the value pack. And I picked this up, I believe 2 years ago, so I'm not sure if it's still available or not. However, you could check that out and see. So I'm adding the beak here, and I'm going to go in pieces really fast. Here's the eyelashes, and then followed by the cheek, and also Recollections paper for those. And it's turning out great. Here's the other element in black. I'm adding here some iridescent string found at Michael's. I believe it's knotting cord and found in the kids section. So again, Michael's, I did use some double-sided adhesive for that to glue that down to the library card pocket here. And I'm just going to add the flamingo as well as some greenery. I do a minor mistake. I forgot that where I was going to place the flower, the pink flower, and so I added an eyelet in that spot, but I just end up covering that eyelet and just adding a new one on the opposite side. So here I'm showing you how to do the squigglies for the floral arrangement, and I'm using a size, the size is 1/16 of an inch by 6. I'm also using Recollections, the open single sheet cardstock in the paper area. And so yeah, I'm using this tool from Sizzix. It is a flower curler tool, and it comes with a die, so I'm not sure if it's available. However, I know there are flower tools that you can use to make flower arrangements like this, or if not, you can use some tweezers or stick or so forth. However you roll your flowers, you can do the same with these. So I'm going to use some hot glue here to adhere the flower. And so I decide where my placement is, and I like it. I'm going to add some more of these little squiggly thingies. I don't even know what to call them, but they're just accents for the floor arrangement, and just placing them down with liquid glue. And you can double up on the cardstock if you like to make it sturdy. I just use a single sheet. You know, that open cardstock is fairly heavy duty, so I was fine with it. So I am adding those squigglies to the bottom floor arrangement as well as the top of the library card pocket floor arrangement. So yeah, I think it just makes it fuller. You can do it in different colors if you'd like as well, different greens. And as you can see, this second pocket does have a lighter green leaves at the top of the pocket. So this one I went with just a fairly different look, not too much. You could barely tell the difference in greenery. So yeah, whatever works for you would be amazing. So I'm just going to finish up this floor arrangement here, and we can finish off the card. So I'm going to use some Barely Arts to finish that off there. And I'm also using the Fun in the Sun flat back stickers. You'll see me use that in a bit here. I'm also adding this cut apart from that collection as well. And I did do some stitching. I am using the silver again. And I believe in the beginning I called this a library card, but it's actually a library card pocket. So that's what I made, a library card pocket. And yeah, Sometimes when I'm filming, you just completely space out. So you're talking to yourself and you kind of, well, for me anyway, that's what happens. But here I am adding the flat backs. I'm just about done. I'm also adding a dangle here, and that is a handmade tassel. So this concludes the video. I will see you guys in the next one. Be sure to check out scrapdivadesigns.com, also American Crafts for the paper collection, and everything will be linked below for both. I will see you in the next video.